Hi, welcome back to Handcrafted Resilience. I'm Brianna, and this week's video is a little different. It's not a tutorial or a product drop, it's a quiet conversation about Easter, healing, and how color has helped me to process both. So Easter always seems to arrive with this expectation of joy, pastel dresses, sunrise services, songs that end in celebration. And I think those things are beautiful, but they're not always the whole picture. This year, Easter feels a little bit different to me. It feels a little quieter, a little slower, a little heavier. Not in a bad way, just in a real way. I think when you're healing, physically, emotionally, creatively, Easter doesn't just hit the bright notes. It touches on all the ones that came before it too. The ache, the grief, the confusion. That long Saturday before the resurrection where everything was still uncertain. And I've been living in that space lately, between Good Friday and Easter Sunday, between broken and blooming. So that's what this video is about. Not a tutorial, not a sales pitch, just a soft reflection about Easter and healing and how clay and color have helped me hold space for both. So, a little bit about me. I grew up Baptist, and Easter's always been a big deal in my faith. But even when I was younger, I think I felt it carried more weight than just celebration. Easter to me isn't about pretending that everything's okay. It's about acknowledging everything that isn't, and still trusting that something good can come after. That's what makes it beautiful. It doesn't just skip the pain, it goes through it. When I think about Jesus on the cross, the curtain torn, the silence of that Saturday, it reminds me that God knows grief too. The resurrection didn't come without the breaking, and that healing isn't a switch that you flip. It's a process. My relationship with God hasn't wavered. If anything, it's deepened. But Easter has helped me see that even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel productive, He's still working, and I can rest in that. This year especially, healing has felt slow. With my health stuff, with POTS, and just overall exhaustion, I've had to let go of the idea that I can bounce back quickly. There have been days I've had to nap between tasks, days I couldn't finish what I wanted to, weeks where the most I could do was just sit at my table and condition a little bit of clay. And in those moments, it's so easy to feel like I'm falling behind. Like I should be more productive, like I should be able to just snap out of it. But healing doesn't work like that. It's not linear, it's not fast, and it's definitely not always pretty. It's messy. It's humbling. It's exhausting. But it's also deeply sacred, in a way that I didn't expect. Because healing, as slow as it may be, teaches you how to notice the tiniest signs of life returning. The way color comes back into your cheeks. The way creativity comes back into your hands. The way peace returns to your spirit. Not because your faith was ever gone, but because your body is finally catching up to what your heart has known all along. And that's where the clay comes in. This past week, I found myself mixing colors I didn't expect. Not bold, dramatic ones, but quiet ones. Soft, grounded tones. Colors that felt like exhaling. Like sitting on the porch in early spring with a blanket wrapped around your shoulders. Ripped curtain was one of them. A deep plum, born out of grief and missed moments. You should check my blog on coffee for that one. It definitely tells more about the story there. Sunset shell, a warm coral, gentle and glowing like the close of a warm day. Tidal sky, a soft sky blue that feels like the world is opening back up again. Drift shore was another one. Weathered sage gray, calm, grounded, and muted teal, the color of quiet resilience. Not flashy, but steady. I didn't plan to make an Easter palette, but when I looked at these together, I realized that's exactly what they were. Not traditional, but deeply spiritual, because they reflect the journey of healing, of resurrection, of stillness turning into strength. One of the hardest parts of being human and an artist is letting yourself stay in the process. I always feel like I'm supposed to have everything finished, everything perfect, But Easter reminds me that the best parts of the story happen after everything had fallen apart. Not during the crowd, not during the celebration, but in the quiet, in the tomb, in the dark. And maybe that's where I am right now, somewhere between the breaking and the blooming. But even here, I've learned that creativity still shows up. Color still shows up. God still shows up. Not always loudly, but faithfully. And maybe that's what Easter really is. Not the pressure to rejoice, but the invitation to keep going. So if this week feels hard for you, or strange, or complicated, I just wanted to say you're not alone. If Easter feels heavy or bittersweet or not what it used to, that's okay. You don't have to perform joy to belong to the story. You're allowed to be in progress. You're allowed to be in recovery. You're allowed to be quiet. This week, I'm creating slowly. Resting more, reflecting deeply, holding on to the hope that healing doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be real. So, I hope you got something from this reflection today. I will be talking more about it in my blog on coffee later this week. So I hope you follow along and stay updated with me, and maybe even join in the conversation, get in the comments and tell me what your thoughts are on this. But I hope you guys have a great week, and I will be seeing you guys next week. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you guys next week.